They said it was just another wildfire season, but the skies told a different story.
Trying to get the upper hand on a fast-moving wildfire.
Fire in California, not even 10% contained right now. It's already the biggest fire of the year in that state.
Now, officials say 36 people have been killed in those fires, and that number.
Out-of-control wildfire exploding overnight in the Los Angeles area.
Evening from here in Maui, where we have just learned that this is now the deadliest wildfire.
People don't realize is that Maui was in a D1, D2 severe drought.
Tonight, the devastation in Hawaii.
People lost everything. There's still people missing.
The search for survivors continues in a wildfire ravaged Hawaii.
Let's just go through what unfolded as one of the greatest tragedies of our time. Blazing orange clouds rose from the treetops. Flames leapt with impossible precision. Entire neighborhoods were reduced to ash. Yet some trees stood untouched beside obliterated homes. It didn't make sense. Authorities pointed to climate change, dry winds, and unpredictable weather patterns. But locals, those who saw the fires firsthand, described strange phenomena. Bright flashes in the sky, electric blue sparks hovering before the flames, booms that echoed like thunder, yet there were no storms. And then there were the burn patterns, not wild, chaotic spreads, but clean lines. Homes turned to white ash, while adjacent cars had melted aluminum rims. Yet in some places, bushes and trees stood perfectly green, untouched. Was this nature, or something engineered? That's when a theory began to spread. A theory involving technology most believed belonged to science fiction. Directed energy weapons, high-powered lasers, microwave beams, particle streams. Technology capable of destroying a target from miles away, without bullets, without bombs, and often without a trace. This isn't fantasy. These systems exist. Defense agencies around the world have admitted it. Patents for such weapons are filed, published, and even cited in military procurement budgets. Documents have surfaced from defense contractors, Lockheed, Raytheon, and others, detailing laser-based weapon systems that could be deployed from ground vehicles, aircraft, and satellites. But if these weapons exist, could they be used outside the battlefield? Some independent researchers believe the fires we've seen in recent years, Hawaii, California, Canada, share an eerie commonality. Unexplained ignition points, unusual melting patterns, entire neighborhoods leveled, but plastic objects or trees remain eerily untouched. Witnesses describe flashes in the sky just before the fires erupted. Satellite data shows bursts of energy, some dismissed as lightning, others left unexplained. And in several cases, airspace over these regions was restricted for security operations days before the fires began. Coincidence or evidence? Skeptics say these theories are fueled by fear, that the damage can be explained by wind shifts and building materials. But even some firefighters, off record, have admitted that certain fires behaved in ways they had never seen before. Melted engine blocks, pulverized concrete, houses leveled, but trees standing beside them like sentinels. And perhaps most disturbing, land ownership changes. In some areas, properties destroyed by fires were bought up swiftly afterward, at prices far below value. Was this disaster capitalism, or something more coordinated? Theories diverge. Some say these events are tests, experiments in urban targeting. Others say it's economic warfare, reshaping land and communities to fit a smart grid agenda. Still others whisper that the real target isn't property, it's people. Control through fear, compliance through chaos. We're not here to tell you what to believe. We're here to show you what's being hidden in plain sight. And what comes next might shift your perspective forever. If directed energy weapons are real, and they are, then who controls them? The US military has been developing and refining these systems for decades. Declassified documents describe projects with chilling precision. Airborne laser platforms designed to disable missiles mid-flight. High-frequency microwave arrays capable of overheating electronics from miles away. And, more recently, silent, solid-state lasers built for precision use in urban environments. These weapons leave no trace, no shell casings, no explosive residue, just extreme heat and ash. But here's where it gets darker. In 2013, a patent was filed at the United States Patent Office. It describes a high-energy electromagnetic beam system capable of igniting remote targets, possibly from orbit. This isn't speculation, it's publicly accessible. And it's not alone. There are others, dozens of them. Blueprints for remote combustion, atmospheric manipulation, and beam steering. Technology that once belonged to science fiction, now quietly archived behind government seals. And then, the strange reports begin. In the days leading up to several recent wildfires, residents describe silent aircraft flying low at night over remote forest regions. No lights, no sound, just shadows sweeping the treetops. Then, days later, eruption. Fires breaking out, with no lightning, no campfires, no natural spark. When asked, authorities offered no records of any flights. The logs were empty, no transponders, no radar pings, just silence. And then came the blue beams. A photo taken during California's 2018 firestorm went viral. It showed a narrow column of blue light piercing from the sky down to the forest floor. Moments later, the area was ablaze. Officials dismissed it as a lens flare, a trick of light. But millions saw it and began to wonder. And they weren't alone. The burn zones themselves raised more questions. In neighborhood after neighborhood, the same eerie pattern appeared. Houses turned to ash, while nearby trees stood untouched. Metal melted, asphalt scorched, but wood left standing. That's not how natural fires behave. And when the embers cooled, something even stranger happened. Massive corporations and investors began buying up the scorched earth at record speed. Prime land, cleared of obstacles, rezoned within months, ready for infrastructure, fiber grids, smart tech, resilient cities. The fires seemed to clear the way. And so, the questions grew louder. Were these disasters convenient? Were they engineered resets disguised as natural tragedy? Were powerful tools used to break resistance, erase ownership, and start over, with someone else in control? No answers were given. And those who dared to ask were ridiculed, deplatformed, labeled fringe. Because the most dangerous thing in a controlled society is a pattern recognizer. You're not supposed to notice. You're not supposed to question why the same phenomena repeat again and again. You're not supposed to trace patterns, or compare flight data, or ask why some fires seem to burn with surgical precision while others rage wildly. In the wake of destruction, there is always a plan. Quiet contracts, strategic purchases, smart cities on scorched ground, land that once belonged to families now prepped for sensors, surveillance towers, and autonomous infrastructure. But it's not just about the land. It's about reshaping how people live and how they're controlled. 2015, a quiet document emerged from a global think tank suggesting that in the face of climate volatility, regions should transition to high-density, digitally managed settlements. Cities that monitor electricity use in real time. Smart grids that control water access. AI-powered drones that enforce curfews and mobility during emergencies, all for public safety. After every major fire, the proposals come. Smart rebuilding plans, drone corridors, digital zoning. New policies for resilient redevelopment. The message? You don't own this land anymore. You rent access to the system. If this stirred something in you, follow me on TikTok, Veil Archives. These stories take hours, sometimes days, digging through declassified files, stitching truth from whispers, and shaping them into something you can feel. If you felt it, support the craft, follow, and help keep the archives alive.